right, race fans. Welcome to TurnLeftTV. You ready for some high-speed action tonight? Step on the gas. All right, race fans. Welcome to Spa. This is TurnLeftTV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. The High Octane Racing League GT3 Series visits one of the most famous tracks in motorsports. It's Spa for a 50-minute race, the final race of the season. Anybody got anything for Dennis Shashinko? We're going to find out tonight at a very, very challenging track. Love Spa, man, and it is going to be live right here on TurnLeftTV. Well, the GT3 boys tackle one of the most famous road courses in all of motorsports, Belgium's finest. It's Spa, and it is live right here on TurnLeftTV. All right, hey, thank you so much for coming in to TurnLeftTV to join us for the final race of the GT3 Series season. Right now, these guys are in the qualification session. Just under 10 minutes left to go in qualification. I'm your broadcaster, commentator, Heath Johnson. 50-minute race here, the last race of the season on a very, very fun track at Spa. Location in Belgium. 7 kilometers in length, 4.3 miles in length. We'll take a look at the track here in just a few minutes. Again, I want to say thank you so much for coming in and joining me on TurnLeftTV. Peace to everybody out there in race land and TurnLeftTV land, I guess. No, it's not TurnLeftTV land, but you get it. Thanks for joining me. Please hit that thumbs up button. Let me know you were here. And then if you'd like to share my videos with your friends, you can share my videos on any social media platform where you're allowed to share YouTube videos. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. It's right there. Smash the bell as well. And please go down to the link in the description of this race. Follow that to the Fanatec website. There's a couple links there if you're in the Euro area. We got one in the North American area, South Central American area as well. And please visit those if you're interested in purchasing one of those new DD wheels, CSL DD wheels, or any of the equipment there at Fanatec. Please use my link and help me out here at TurnLeftTV. Spa, a great track, man. This has been a great season. Excited to see what's coming up next season in the GT3 Series. We're going to start another one here, I think, next week. So still trying to finalize the schedule. And I think we got some really, really cool tracks on the schedule there as I was looking at a lot of Asian tracks as well. So that is going to be fantastic. Maybe even a couple street circuits, too. So keep your eyes peeled for the next season here in the High Octane Racing League GT3 Series. And again, thanks for joining us here tonight. Should be a wild, wild race. Tonight's race is brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you are interested in an rFactor 2 server for your league, please give EliteHostingUSA.com a look. We've got some great server packages available for you. And to provide service for us here at High Octane Racing League. Got 6.5 minutes left to go in the qualification session. We'll take a look at the schedule here in the GT3 Series. All comes down to tonight at Spa. Would have been a great season. Very interesting tracks. Man, that Daytona night race was just flat out insane. Atlanta, we had a rain race there. Lime Rock, a very challenging race, fun race, big field at that one as well. And Monza, of course, started off the season. Those tracks really highlighted, I think. And we'll see how we go here at Spa. I think we're going to have a good competitive race. A lot of people like Spa. Anybody who's anybody in racing has been on Spa, that's for sure. We do have some more racing coming up tonight at Daytona International, a Saturday Night Thunder, race number 9 of a 10-race season. And an 80-lap race at Daytona, man, that's super speedway. This is Daytona weekend in the stock cars. We had a great big field last night, 22 drivers in the Xfinity Series. How many are we going to have tonight in this Cup Series? We'll take a look at the track here at Spa. 19 turns, 7 kilometers in length, 4.3 miles. Located in Stavanger, Belgium. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. But, really, like I said, one of the most famous tracks in all of motorsports. Spa 24 hours, of course. The GT3 cars get out here. And very fun track. One of the first road courses, I think, once I started tinkering around with rFactor 2. That I was able to run around in, and I fell in love with it. Just love it. Great track, challenging track, but a fun one. A lot of people like this track. So about 3 minutes left to go in the qualification session. Take a look at the qualifiers here. Probably have some more people join in the warm-up session. Colin Madiak, the top time, 2:15.397. Dennis Shashinko, points leader, just behind in second. Artivier is in third. Claudio Bardelli Jr. right now, Spencer Romo is fourth. Claudio Bardelli Jr. is fifth. Dennis Vandeven sixth. Stephen Miller seventh. Lucas Simpner eighth. Will Dunbar ninth. And I think we got Javier Conte trying to get back in after qualification session. Looks like he had gotten disconnected, so he'll be back. Speaking of being back, man, the High Octane Racing League Bushwhacker Series had a huge race last night at Daytona. Early of that part of that race, a little troublesome, that 4 cautions there in quick order, but once they got it figured out, that second half of that race was just insane. 22 drivers, and a fun race. Interesting finish. Next race will be at Gateway Raceway, very famous track there outside of St. Louis, Missouri, actually located on the Illinois side. I think it's Madison, Illinois, if I'm not mistaken. It's race number 2 of a 10-race season. 120 laps from Gateway in the High Octane Racing League Bushwhacker Series, coming up on September the 3rd, and racing will start at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take a look at that Saturday Night Thunder schedule as we're thinking about the Saturday Night Thunder. So we got Daytona International and then Darlington Raceway next week, and then we'll start that new season in the Saturday Night Thunder. And I think I got something up my sleeve for that one, so keep your eyes peeled for the great Saturday Night Stock Car Racing Series here at High Octane Racing League. Looks like the qualification session has officially ended. We'll see what the session results show us. Colin Madiak top time, 2:15.397. We'll start in P1. Art Vieto starts in second. Yashinko starts in the third position, so a little unusual for him. He's usually on the front row there. Claudio Bardelli Jr. starts fourth in the Porsche. Or excuse me, the BMW. Spencer Romo in the Porsche starts in the fifth position. Dennis Vandeven in the Corvette starts in sixth. Stephen Miller, Lucas Simpler, both in Audis, seventh and eighth in the grid. And then Will Dunbar also in an Audi, starting in the ninth position. Take a look at the chat session there. Javier waiting to get back in, so since this kicks over to warm-up, should be good to go. Givaldo Linares in here says he's rooting for Claudio Bardelli Jr. Claudio's coming in here and doing some chatting as well, so good luck to Claudio tonight. Looks like we've switched over to the warm-up session. Javier back in. So got a 10-minute warm-up session. Javier Conte back here in the McLaren, so we were waiting on him to join. Well, here are my keys to the race from the broadcaster perspective. Respect the track. Definitely respect the track. This thing will reach out and bite you if you don't respect this thing. This thing is, especially some of those really, really high-speed turns, we got to really think about respecting the track. Hit your braking points, man. It's easy to overdrive this track because you got a lot of high-speed corners, but you also have some really tight ones as well, and got to use those braking points. Track awareness, man. Make sure you are aware of the cars around you and cars coming up behind you, or if you're coming up on cars too, make sure you're track aware. And then also save those tires there. Don't try to overdrive that car and use up those tires. They do have to make a mandatory 4-tire change to a different compound. That's the rule in this league, or one of the rules in this league. So those are my keys to the race. Respect the track. Make sure you hit your braking points. Track awareness. Know who's around you. And then save your tires. Manage your tires. Right, just a little under 4 minutes left to go in the warm-up session. And look who is joining us in the chat session. Racing in the 24-hour race at Spa, Nikolai Bezhikov. Good to see Nikolai here. He's rooting for the Porsche guys. Although I think he is running in an Audi this year, though. But that's okay. But, hopefully your first stint went well, and good luck to you and your team in your 24-hour race today. Get with me on Discord here. We'll give you an idea of what we got coming up in the GT3 Series next season. Very interesting tracks coming up. About 3 minutes left to go. It's good to see that Javier got back in here with no problem. We'll want to take a look at the season standings again, coming into tonight's race. Dennis Shashinko, 255 points. Probably got this locked up there with Nikolai not being able to make it today. Will Dunbar sits in the third position. Spencer Romo, fourth. Lucas Simpner is fifth. Pedro Gomez is sixth. He is not here today either. Probably racing in the same race. Claudio Bardelli Jr., seventh in points. Javier Conte, eighth. Antti Rossi, ninth in points. And Andre Rousseau, 10th. Under a minute left to go in the warm-up session. Get this bad boy going. Take a look at last week's race. That big win for Nikolai Bezhikov. We had some shenanigans going on, man, and I'll tell you what, and he was able to outlast the competition, get a big win at Hockenheim. Solidified a good second place run for him this season. So congratulations to Nikolai Bezhikov for getting that win. Who's going to take home the win today? I think Javier Conte's got a good chance. I'll tell you what, Colin Madiak qualifying on the pole there. He's got looking pretty solid here tonight as well. I'm going to be the contrarian, though. So I'm getting my pick in now, man. This is my pick to win this race. See that pop up here in just a second. My pick, Arthur Vieira, to win this bad boy. All right, here we go. All right, let's go through the starting order here. at Spa. Dennis Shashinko will start in P1 in the Audi. Colin Madiak second. Artur Vieira will start at third position. Claudio Bardelli Jr. A couple our Brazilian drivers teaming up with the BMWs starting in 3-4. Starting in the 5th position is Spencer Romo in the Porsche. Dennis Vandeven in the Corvette starts in the 6th position. Stephen Miller starts 7th. Lucas Simpsoner starts in the 8th position. Javier Conte in the McLaren starts in 9th. And Will Dunbar will start in the 10th position in the Audi. And again, this is Spa, 7 kilometers in length. And this part right here, this part of Spa is a very challenging segment. Carrying a heck of a lot of speed here going into these turns here. Shoot up the hill. Easy to get this car out of control. Nikolai Bezhikov picking Colin Madiak to win this race. So I'm picking Artur Vieira. Don't forget to follow us on Discord or join our Discord channel if you haven't already done so. You're more than welcome to join up and participate in all our leagues. We got 3 leagues going throughout the year. Some special events along the way as well. Don't forget, tonight's race brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. 3 servers available for you, self-managed server packages, I should say, for rFactor 2. That's EliteHostingUSA.com. Providing servers all around the world, actually. Shashinko in the Audi there, starting in P1. Now, I'm not sure what happened to Colin. Maybe he got beat out there at the last second there as Shashinko a little bit late there coming off the grid in that practice, or excuse me, that qualification session. This is a track that a lot of guys know. As I mentioned, this is one of the most famous tracks in all of motorsport. So a lot of drivers out here tonight know this track like the back of their hand. They know exactly what the braking points are. They know when they can push these cars and when to do passes, or when it's, what areas of the track are really good for passing. And this is going to be a fun race, man. Spa always is. Takes a little while to get around this place in the under pace speed. So a 50-minute race, the final race of the season. Don't forget those keys to the race, man. Respect the track, braking points. Make sure you hit those braking points. Track awareness. Know where those drivers are. Know where you're on the track as well. Where to push it, where you're going to have to be a little conservative. And then also save those tires, man. 4-tire stop is mandatory, and you got to change to a different compound here in this GT3 series. All right, here we go.
Green flag, go, go, go.
All right, we're off at Spa. Already 3 wide through the straight. It's going to be tough here. Spencer Romo there on the inside, trying to make some room. And Artivieta there making a little contact. Pretty clean start here to this race so far. Colin Matiak's jumping out to the race lead. Dennis Shashinko in second. Colin Matiak in the Porsche, jumping out to the race lead. On board here with Colin Matiak. In the Porsche is Dennis Shashinko in tow. Take a look at Claudio Bardelli Jr. here in the BMW, just behind Spencer Romo. Spencer Romo tried to muscle his way through, get around Artivieta. Artivieta's gotten that position back. He's right now running in the 3rd spot. Spencer Romo is in 4th just ahead. We're on board with Claudio Bardelli Jr., our 5th place driver. Good battle here with the Dennis Vandeven and Javier Conte. Javier running in the McLaren, Dennis Vandeven running in the Corvette. And a good tight battle here between the two of these guys. On board here with Dennis Vandeven in the Corvette. He's got Javier Conte just behind him running in P7. Claudio Bardelli Jr. just ahead. Here we go. A little bit of a pass here. It's hard to make a pass right here, and he might end up giving up a spot here. Dennis Vandeven now. He tried to make that pass, and now Javier Conte on the inside. Through the straightaway. These guys are going to be 3 wide here before it's over with. Oh, boy. Here we go. Going to be a hard right-hander up here. Who's going to back out first? Who's going to blink first? Conte there dropping back. He's now going to the outside. Now he decides he wants to go with the Corvette. They're 3 wide again. Oh, there's contact, and there you end up in the wall. 3 of those guys end up in the wall. My heavens. Conte made it 3 wide, and not enough room right there. Conte's going to get those spots back, looks like. He's got some damage he's going to be dealing with. You find the Javier Conte having some issues there. So he's all beat up now. But that got wild. My heavens, man. Bardelli Jr., I think, was in that as well. See if we can't find that replay. Here they are, 3 wide. This is Bardelli Jr. we're taking a look at here. Right here, man, you just get tight, and it looks like Conte had gotten into the Corvette, the 84 Dennis Vandeven, and that just breaks them all into the wall right there. Now Javier finds himself back in the 9th position. Bardelli Jr., he's having some issues now too. He's got some pretty significant damage, and he's going to have to probably come in to get some repairs. He's now running in 10th. Dennis Vandeven, he seemed to have fared the best in this situation, although dealing with some damage now. He is running in P5. Wow, that got crazy, didn't it? That got absolutely crazy. We're on board to see what Lucas Sifter saw. Actually, he's getting around just a little bit later. Those guys giving up those spots. Lucas Sifter gets by in the Audi. Back up here at Colin Matiak leading the field in the Porsche. Dennis Shashinko, Art Deviata here pretty tight. Art Deviata, man, he's my pick to win this race. Shashinko in the Audi. Coming out of the back of his machine at Art Deviata running in that BMW. Art's got a pretty significant resume here with respect to GT3 cars and road courses, obviously. I've raced with him for years. Years ago, raced with him at in a GT3 Series season with AVV, and he was the class of the field. There's no doubt about that. This guy could flat out drive just anything. He's good in stock cars. He's good on road courses in these GT3 cars, and he's good in Indy cars as well. See on board here with him as he's running in the third position. Take a look at Will Dunbar here in the Audi. He's running in P8 in this 88 car. And about 5-second gap between he and P7, Stephen Miller. Also running in the Audi here with speed details number 24. Running in the 7th position, another Audi here running in 6th, and that is Lucas Simpfner in the 21 car. He's running in P6 right now. So it seems to be that's Audis, except for Dennis Shashinko having some issues here. Maybe maintaining that pace. Spencer Romo running in the 4th position in the Porsche 911. He's talking about how he has a 911 in real life. So interesting. Talk about how the similarities between the online version of the 911 and what he sees in real life. You see Javier Conte there coming back out on track. Bardelli Jr., I think he's had some issues here. We'll take a look and see what happened to him. He is really having some handling issues since that crash in this BMW and swinging wide. And I think he's going to bring his car down pit lane and retire his machine. So tough break there for Bardelli Jr. as he comes around the hairpin here. And he's just going to duck in pit lane and then retire his machine, it looks like. A tough break there for Claudio Bardelli Jr. Back up here with Colin Madiak continuing to lead the field, but he's got about a 2-second lead over Dennis Shashinko. Shashinko has a whole lot of Art Deviata in his zip code right now. Shashinko in the Audi, Art Deviata in the BMW. Now, you know Artur, he's not afraid to put a lay a bumper on you, but I will say this guy's one of the cleanest racers on the track. And I don't think he's really going to make any dangerous moves to try to get around Shashinko. He's just going to wait for an opportunity and try to make that pass. But it's hard to get around. Such a savvy driver as Dennis Shashinko. So a little Audi versus BMW here for P2. Spencer Romo wants those guys to get a little bit racy here. You see Javier Conte back out on track. He is 1 lap down, so he's made his pit stop. On fresh tires and makes that pass on Spencer Romo. So Javier in the McLaren running in P9. Dennis Vandeven continuing to pace in the 5th spot, 15 seconds off the race lead in the number 84 Corvette. Got a little bit of work to do before he catches up to P4, about a 6-second gap, 5.5-second gap between he and Spencer Romo. And Spencer Romo, you can see the tail end of that line there of P1, P2, P3. And he's got Javier Conte there just in front of him. Right now, Madiak leading the field. go on board here with Artur Vieira as he's trying to make a pass on Dennis Shashinko, set him up. So these guys have been pretty clean up front. Just had that one little incident there, that big crash involving 3 drivers. Dennis Van de Ven, Javier Conte, and Claudio Bardelli Jr. all getting together. Lucas Simpler wanting to make some noise here. He's running in the 6th position, so he's got a little work to do before he catches back up to Dennis Van de Ven. He's about 9.5 seconds down to P5. So right now, Lucas Simpler running in the 6th position in the number 21 Audi. Stephen Miller also in an Audi running in P7. About a 5-second gap between he and P6. Take a look at Will Dunbar here running in the 8th position, about 14 seconds down to P7. I want to have a good, clean race. Definitely send out our appreciation to him for his management of the GT3 Series. And Javier Conte keeps plugging away. He wants to get back on the lead lap. Now, of course, he's already made a pit stop here, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see whether he can make it the rest of the way on fresh tires. See, he's the only one who has made a pit stop there. And he is 1 lap down. So the rest of these guys do have to make pit stops. And you know the McLarens are fast, and Javier, one of the fastest guys in the McLaren crew. I'm kind of curious to see how that early pit. He may just not have had any other choice there given the damage that he would have had from that incident. 1.8 second gap separates 1 and 2. Shashinko has started to open it up there a little bit on Artur Vieira. We'll take a look at Dennis Shashinko running in the 2nd position. So he's opened up a little bit of a gap there on Artur Vieira, who is now 2.8 seconds back to the race leader. About 1.6 separates those. P2, P3. Colin Madiak continuing to pace the field here in the Porsche. He was really talking about wanting to run the Ferrari, which I had to remind him that the rule here is in this league, this series, that whatever car or manufacturer you start with, that's what you got to race the entire season. So choose wisely. And, so he switched back to the Porsche, and now here he is leading the field. Not a lot of confidence in the Porsche, but unfortunately, that's the rule. I shouldn't say unfortunately. That's the rule in the high-octane racing league GT3 Series. You race the same car. And given the track selection, I mean, throughout the season, you know that may shape your decision on what you go with. Some cars are going to be better at certain tracks than others. So you got to weigh the pluses and minuses. You take a look at Artur Vieira here now running in P3, 1.9 second gap between he and P2. Shashinko is really starting to push in and reel in. Going back here, Dennis Shashinko, and he is really starting to catch up to or reel in that Porsche of Colin Madiak. Seems to be getting better entry into the corners right now. So the battle for the lead starting to heat up. Looking out of the back of Colin Madiak's machine, you can see P2, P3, so definitely tight here. Shashinko is like a shark, man. He smells blood in the water, and he is ready for attack. seeing those hard braking points. Shashinko has an advantage there. This battle is tightening up here. Shashinko all over the back of Colin Matiak. You know Matiak definitely sees him in the rearview mirror. So the Porsche seems to have a little bit better high speed top end than the Audi. But the Audi seems to, at least the way these guys are driving these cars, seems to be a little bit better in the slower sections, the harder braking sections of the track. So we'll find out right here. A little bit wide there on exit, scrubbing off a ton of, or a little bit of speed. Looked like Matiak might have gotten a little bit better entry and exit through that chicane. Back here, look at Spencer Romo running in P4. He's 10 seconds back to P3. But a good run here for him so far in the 4th position. Dennis Van de Ven trying to recover there. He did not pit after that accident, so he's running in the 5th spot. So must not have gotten too much damage. He is about 2.5 seconds behind P4. So keeping it tight here in the lone Corvette in the field. Stephen Miller here in the Audi running in the 7th position. Coming off track there just a little bit. Using that overrun area. 6.7 seconds behind P6. We'll jump up here and look at P6, and that is Lucas Simpfner. Had a pretty good run this season. Led some laps, good solid finishes for him, and comes in tonight in the top 5 in points. Again, that battle is tight, man. Now it's a 3-way battle, really, for P1. Don't forget about Artur Vieira. He's jumped back up into this. Backed off, caught his breath, but he is right there. See P1, P2 right out of the front of his machine, right over his hood. So got a good parity up here. We got a Porsche, we got an Audi, and we have a BMW, all 1, 2, 3. Here's where it's going to get interesting. These types of turns that bunch those guys up, and Matiak not able to pull away that time, and really tightening things up here. Shashinko now closing the gap even more. Half a second. He's now got to play a little defense as well because Artur Vieira is there. So 1, 2, 3 all battling it out here. 31 minutes left to go. That is the hardest section of the track right there by far. And he got through that pretty smoothly. Still maintaining about a half a second gap there on Shashinko. Shashinko being hounded by Artur Vieira now. Vieira has caught up to these guys. Looking out of the front of Artur's machine. He's caught up to these guys, man. I'll tell you what, they start getting side by side, and it was off track there a little bit. It's kicking up some sand. Guys go side by side, and he is going to be there. He might be the benefactor here of some contact between the two of them. So far, been pretty clean. Shashinko still looking to get around. Shashinko driving the wheels off this thing right now, on board with Dennis Shashinko's Audi. You see that high-speed turn right there to the Porsche seems like it's a little bit better. The short, lower speed turns, the Audi seems like it's better. 0.3 of a second now separating the two, P1, P2. Artur Vieira now 0.5 back to P1, actually to P2. So you could throw a blanket over P1, P2, P3. What a great little battle here. Romo's got to be thinking, hey, man, let me get up there and get some of that action. He's got some work to do on his hands. He's got Dennis Vandeven, who's closed in, now 1.2 seconds behind in P5. So Spencer Romo having a good run in the 4th position, but Dennis Vandeven starting to reel him in. Spencer is about 13 seconds down to the race leader. I think with Dennis Shashinko, I want to say there is really no lower volume than 10 for Shashinko. He is always on 10 when he is racing. Not afraid to push that car to the limits. Not afraid to take some chances. Some of those don't work out. Some of them don't. I don't think really anything... there's been some controversy this season. I don't think anything's really been intentional. It's just sometimes, putting yourself in a position where you make some mistakes, and those have happened. So far, pretty clean race here from all three of these guys, man. And this is an interesting battle. And I'll tell you what, it is heating up here. Take a look here as, wow, man, I'll tell you what, Colin Matiak has his hands full right now with Shashinko and also Artur Vieta. This is a great battle for P1. 3 guys here mixing it up. 27 minutes left to go. So this stuff right here will wear you out. Shashinko giving it a peek here. On the high side, he's going to try to do a crossover here. He is in with the... Oh, look at that. Colin Matiak making a pit stop there. Matiak making a pit stop, and that gives the race lead to Shashinko. So Colin Matiak. Boy, I didn't expect that. Didn't hear any message on the radio about making a pit stop. So we'll take a look at Colin Matiak as he takes service here in the Porsche. Just under 27 minutes left to go in the race. Shashinko hounding him. Matiak, however, wanted to maybe snooker those guys and just say, I'm going to duck into pit lane. Supposed to announce when you're coming in. Give these guys a little bit of warning so they don't come in, get into the back of you. So now Matiak back to the 6th position. Probably going to lose some more. It takes a long time to get a pit stop here. Look at this battle for the race lead here between Dennis Shashinko and Artur Vieta. Matiak finishing up his pit stop in the Porsche. Coming back out on track. Just over 25 minutes left to go. So now Colin Matiak back to the 7th position. And that battle is heating up too. Artur Vieta in the BMW is absolutely hounding Dennis Shashinko right now. Gotta pick your spots, man. Respect the track. Manage those braking points. Don't overdrive it. Be track aware. And Vieta now really pushing the issue with Dennis Shashinko. Vieta's got to run on Shashinko. There might be a little contact right there. He's on the high side. Looks like that Shashinko's decided to take his car into the pits. And that gives the race lead to Dennis Yashinko. Excuse me, Artie Vieira there. Sorry about that. So Yashinko's on pit lane. Artie Vieira now going to have to worry about that pace. Can he maintain a good pace out by himself? Driving the track. He's not got any targets to shoot for. As we see Dennis Shashinko making his pit stop here in the Audi. 24 minutes left to go. That was some great racing here. Now we'll see how this shakes out once Artie Vieira makes his pit stop. Again, you got to make a mandatory pit stop. Change 4 tires to a different compound. As Shashinko finishing up his pit stop. Now back in 6th. Javier Conte on pit lane. Now I suspected Javier was be able to go the rest of the way, but not the case for him. So he actually came into the pits. He's pitted twice. And he is 1 lap down. So Artie Vieira still has not made a pit stop. Shashinko back out on track in P6. So Shashinko had the better of the two. Matiak and Shashinko separated by a fair distance there. So Matiak may not have had as good a pit stop as Shashinko did. Takes a long time on pit lane to service this machine. Take a look at here at Spencer Romo running in the 2nd position. Dennis Van de Ven is in 3rd. Good tight battle here, P2, P3. Spencer Romo in the 911. Dennis Van de Ven in the Corvette. Spencer announcing that he's going to be coming down pit lane. Exactly what you're supposed to do here in the GT3 series, and really all of our series that we have here at High Octane Racing League. You announce that you're going to make a pit stop. Give the drivers behind you a little fair warning to make some adjustments. As Spencer Romo coming around, and he is indicating he's making a pit stop here. So Spencer Romo in the Porsche. 22 minutes left to go on pit lane. Artie Vieira's on pit lane as well, our race leader. So Dennis Van de Ven, the new race leader. So Artie Vieira on pit lane. Spencer Romo on pit lane. And again, it'll be interesting to see how this shakes out here once all the pit stops are done and over with. We cycle through those pit stops. How is it going to shake out here for where these guys land? We had a great tight battle there for P1, P2, P3. Now Dennis Van de Ven all out there by himself in the Corvette. He's going to have to make a pit stop. Vieira on pit lane in the BMW. Just over 21 minutes left to go. And the Corvette of Dennis Van de Ven. You see Artie Vieira coming off pit lane in the BMW. Spencer Romo on pit lane. So Vieira finishing up that pit stop. It's going to come out, I believe, in the 6th position. He might end up losing another one before it's over with, but get that car up to speed right now in P6. Colin Matiak there has a fair gap on him now. He's running in P5, so after pit stops, it looks like Colin might have gotten a little bit of an advantage there on Vieira, but Dennis Shashinko's gotten the better of the other two boys who were running with him, so he's back up to the 3rd position. Stephen Miller indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane this time by. So this Audi Speed Detail sponsored machine going to be making a pit stop there. As we see Colin Matiak wanting to make a pass on Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller running in P4. Colin Matiak getting around. Oh no, Artie Vieira, I don't know what happened to him, but he's retired from the race. Take a look and see what happened. Oh no, Artie Vieira has some trouble. See what happened to Artie Vieira. And Spencer Conte there. Oh, and he gets loose. How many times have we seen guys do that? No, he loses the back end. He loses the fin on the back, and then hard left side damage. He's going to have trouble getting this car back to pit lane. That's what happened, man. He just carried way too much speed, lost the back end of that car. Maybe there's cold tires, and loses the back end right here, trying to catch it, and then hard lick into the wall. Now, tough break there for the 63 car. My heavens. Spencer Romo going by here after on board over Spencer Romo, and you're going to see Artevieta on the right side right there as Spencer Romo gets by. Artevieta getting the car back on the track, but he is done. What a shame. Lucas Sinfiner now to the race lead here in the Audi. Just under 19 minutes left to go. And he still has to make a pit stop as well. My heavens, man. What a tough break for Artevieta, man. He just lost control of that car. And we'll give it one last look here. And just get the back end starts coming around on him. You see that, man? He's trying to catch this thing, but he's carrying so much speed. He comes over that heel. The tires leave the ground. And then spins this right into the wall. See Stephen Miller on pit lane in that 42 car. So Lucas Sinfiner, who still needs to make a pit stop, is on 18 minutes left to go, is our race leader. Dennis Shashinko is in second, Colin Matiak third. About 4 or 5 seconds separate those two. Dennis Vandeven now in fourth, Spencer Romo fifth, Will Dunbar in sixth. So Lucas Sinfiner pacing the field in the Audi number 21 car. Will Dunbar now in the sixth position in that Audi number 88 Salesforce sponsor machine. About 29 seconds separates he and P5. So having a pretty good run here in the sixth position. I think he still has to make a pit stop. Spencer Romo making his pit stop back out on track. He and Dennis Vandeven rekindling that battle. Looking out of the front of Spencer Romo's machine at Dennis Vandeven in the Corvette. So this has been a pretty tight battle. Not quite as tight at that front three, but really just about 1.2 seconds separate the two of those guys. Vandeven up here in the Corvette. Involved in that accident earlier in the race, but kept it going, man. He got the least amount of damage, I think, of the three drivers that were involved. Claudio Bardelli Jr. out of the race. Shashinko has recovered, and he is back in the P2, but Vandeven right now running in the fourth position. So 1.7 seconds separate P4 and P5. Stephen Miller in the 42 car comes back out on track, and he is now back in the seventh position. I think Will Dunbar indicating he's coming down pit lane. That does appear to be the case, so Will Dunbar making a pit stop. As we take a look at that speed detail sponsor machine number 7, or position number 7 for Stephen Miller, as Will Dunbar gives up a spot and comes down pit lane to take some service. Lucas Sinfiner still has not made his pit stop. He is our race leader. 15 minutes left to go here in the season. We are here at Spa. Got a couple drivers retire from the race. Some bad luck there for Artevieta and Claudio Bardelli Jr. So Will Dunbar on pit lane. He's in P7. Luca having a pretty good night here, leading some laps, and now he's coming down pit lane. So our race leader, Lucas Symphony, making a pit stop. Now we'll hold that I think Dennis Shashinko is going to end up being the race leader before it's over with here, as Will Dunbar finishing up his pit stop, coming back out on track. Now here's where you got to worry. You know, this is what I really wasn't thinking about this until Arthur came off pit lane and then shortly thereafter spun that car. You got to be thinking about the cold tire situation. After you make a pit stop, you got fresh tires on, but they're cold tires, so not scuffed up. The temperatures are low, and it's a good opportunity, or a bad opportunity, I should say. Easy to get that car out of whack. And I think it's what happened to Arthur Vieira. Just cold tires hitting a pretty challenging part of the track and then lost the back end of it. Colin Matiak here running in P2, 7.2 seconds behind Dennis Shashinko. So once it all shook out there, it looks like Shashinko had the advantage of the pit stop. So 7.2 gap, 7.2 second gap there between P1 and P2. Van de Ven now back in the third position, 10.8 seconds back to the race, or to P2, 18 seconds down to first place. Spencer Romo running in the fourth position, 2.9 second gap there as Van de Ven continuing to stretch that out between he and Dennis Van de Ven. Sinfers finished up his pit stop. He's now back into the fifth position, 24 seconds behind P4. Will Dunbar here letting Javier Conte know that he can go ahead and pass. Javier and Will both on the lead lap. Javier makes that pass for position. Take a look at that pass there. Kind of a little bit of a wave by, and Javier gets to the right side. You got a hard left-hander, fast left-hander coming up here. So Javier now up to P7, Will Dunbar back to P8. So Dennis Shashinko now coming up on some lap traffic. Looking out of the front of Dennis Shashinko's machine. A very challenging portion of the track here. Felipe Granado here joins us. Oh my God, missed the race. A shame. Shashinko there trying to get around Will Dunbar. Will Dunbar running in the 8th position. One now about to go a lap down as Shashinko in the Audi gets around. Take a look at Spencer Romo here running in the 4th position. He has continued to kind of fall back to Dennis Van de Ven. He reeled him in, got pretty tight, but Van de Ven now has stretched out that lead 3.7 seconds over P4. Take a look at Van de Ven, our lone Corvette driver here tonight. Involved in an incident earlier. Able to bounce back, and right now in the 3rd position. Take a look at Javier Conte. He was involved in that early incident too, and he had a ton of damage, so he actually came down pit lane to get some service on that. So he's kind of dealing with a little bit of a slightly repaired machine, and he is running in the 7th position. Tough break there for him, the lone McLaren in the field. But Denis Shashinko, our points leader, coming into tonight, doing exactly what he needs to do to solidify the championship. Lead the field, win the race. So far, he's got the lead the field part under control, and he's got a 9.3 second lead over Colin Madiak. So the second half of this race, after pit stops, it looks like Shashinko has really stepped on the gas there and opened up that gap on Colin Madiak, who led a lot of laps early. Pitted earlier than the other two anyway, and has not really been able to kind of capitalize on that early pit stop. He is now 9.3 seconds behind the race leader, and we'll take a look at Colin Madiak here. You see he's got a 6.8 second gap over our third place car, the Corvette of Dennis Van de Ven. Van de Ven's got some work to do here in the last 8.5 minutes to try to close the gap on Colin Madiak. Well, it takes us one mistake, really, and you're back in the hunt. And that goes also to say for Shashinko, who was the leader, 9.3 second gap. And all you got to do is just miss one turn. I think at this point, definitely don't overdrive the car. Don't push it. You got a pretty comfortable lead with 8 minutes left to go, and as long as you hit your marks, this race is yours. Take a look at Stephen Miller here running in the 6th position. Been a pretty quiet night here for Stephen. So 50 seconds or 48 seconds-ish down to P5. But having a pretty good night here, running in the 6th position. Pretty quiet. Not hearing much out of that 42 team. Sinfoner ahead of him. He's 26 seconds down. Now Javier Conte back on pit lane here, so interesting stop for Javier. He's going to give up some positions. Will Dunbar gets that spot back as Javier now loses spot into P8. Dropping down to P8 as that McLaren, there must have been some handling issues he had to get taken care of. Maybe worn those tires out. Got a little bit of traffic ahead here. This is Dennis Van de Ven running in the 3rd position. Shashinko continuing to stretch out that lead with just under 7 minutes left to go. Now 10.5 second gap between he and P2. See Cliff coming in here and rooting on his brother. So he says, go Dennis. Felipe Granado there saying he missed the race, and tough break there for him. Don't worry, there'll be some more GT3 series on the way. Van de Ven closing in on Will Dunbar and getting around Will Dunbar, I believe. Got side by side, but it looks like Van de Ven's got the advantage coming into the turn. Van de Ven in the 3rd position, so that pass was not for position. Take a look at Denis Shashinko, now 11.7 second lead over Colin Madiak. Van de Ven is in 3rd, Romo 4th. Lucas Sinfoner is in 5th. Spitzer Romo, if he makes a little bit of a charge here, he might be able to get to Dennis Van de Ven. There is about 7 seconds separating the two of those guys. And say you got a 5 second gap between Madiak and Van de Ven. Take a look at Lucas Sinfoner here in the Audi. Oh, he hits that curb just a little bit off there. Oh, and he spins. Does he get into the wall? No, he keeps it out of the wall. But, man, he got up on that curb, and it threw that car in the air. He lost the balance of it, and the thing came around on him. But really has to feel fortunate that he didn't get into anything. Let's take a look at that again. Watch this. He's going to come around and just leap over this. Might have caught the front end of that in the grass or something, and then comes around. Gets the car straightened back up. Javier Conte's retired his machine, so he's in the garage area. Not sure what happened to him, other than maybe just got tired of dealing with the boogered up race car. He got into the wall pretty hard on that contact with Shashinko. Actually, it was Vandeven and not Shashinko, but Vandeven and who was the other one? Vieira. Oh, Claudio Bardelli Jr. Sorry about that. Shashinko is just 4 minutes away from winning this championship and winning the race. Guy always seems to find a way, even when he's had some adversity, always seems to find a way to get the car back up and competitive. He's had a pretty solid night here tonight. He had a pretty little challenging run earlier with he and Colin Madiak. Madiak pitted early, and Shashinko waited, pitted, and then came back out and reclaimed the race lead. Colin Madiak in the Porsche. He's maybe used up those tires. Now continuing to drop back and maybe in the clutches of Dennis Vandeven. We'll take a look at right there goes. And there is Vandeven. So that battle's heating up there. And you know Madiak is very, very aware of what's going on. As Vandeven starting to reel him in. See with Vandeven coming around that turn, so a little gap separating the two. About 4-second gap between he and Colin Madiak. Colin Madiak in the Porsche. Not much time, 2.5 minutes left to go. Going to have a little help here, I think, for Dennis Vandeven to be able to gain that spot, gain second position. Right now it is all Dennis Shashinko. We'll take a picture of his car. Tough to do, man, when they're changing positions, changing directions on the track. There we go. So about 1.5 minutes left. Shashinko leading. That gap between Colin Madiak and Dennis Vandeven is now 3.3 seconds. Vandeven definitely reeling him in, but I think he's going to be running out of time here. Just over a minute left to go. Lucas Sinfner running in P5. Again, a little bit of curb action right there. Loses the balance of that car. Is he going to get into the wall? No, he stays out of the wall. What a heck of a recovery there for the Audi. Lucas Sinfner. 2.5 seconds now between P2, P3. Dennis Vandeven pretty much all over, but the shouting now for Dennis Shashinko. Dennis Shashinko wanted to send a message, make a statement. Say what you want. I win races. And this guy can flat out drive. He might have to do another lap here. We'll see. Knowing him, he's going to want to do another lap. It's just the way he is. So it looks like he's got another lap in him here. He could have waited there for 11 seconds, and so he's got another lap to go. And that may be good news for Dennis Vandeven, actually. .4 second gap between P2, P3. So another lap in him. Dennis Van de Ven can smell blood in the water. 2.4 seconds. I don't know if he's going to be able to catch our second place car, Kalamadiak. And I'll tell you, there's nobody going to catch Denis Shashinko. 15-second lead over P2. He just came out after pit stops and just found another gear. Kalamadiak second, Dennis Van de Ven third, Spencer Romo is in fourth, Lucas Simpfner is fifth. Lucas had a pretty eventful second half of the race there with a couple of spins, but he's done a great job in not losing his cool and maintain a fifth place car. Stephen Miller is in sixth, Dunbar seventh, and we got three cars out of the race. Conte, Vieira, and Bardelli Jr. all out of the race. Just a second gap between P2, P3. Not much time to left. Yashinko is going to get that win, so congratulations to Denis Yashinko on getting the race win. So, heck of a run for him. Take a look at Stephen Miller. Let's take a look at this finish here between Madiak and Van de Ven. Van de Ven needed another lap. Denis Yashinko, take a look at that finish for him, getting the race win. So congratulations, Denis Yashinko finishes in P1 and wins the championship. So Denis Yashinko with the win. Like Stephen Miller there, trying to still finishing up his run. So congratulations to Denis Yashinko on getting that race win. Shashinko going to pull that car into the pits. Let's look at the final results here. So Denis Shashinko gets the win and the championship. Kalamadiak finishes second, Dennis Van de Ven third. What a tight battle there at the end. Spencer Romo finishes fourth. Lucas Simpfner finishes in fifth. Stephen Miller, good run here for him, sixth place. Will Dunbar finishes in seventh. Javier Conte finishes in the eighth position. Arte Vieira ninth. And Claudio Bardelli Jr. finishes in the 10th position. So Denis Shashinko gets the win. And a heck of a run for him. And not only that, he also wins the championship. So what a way to make a statement and get a good championship run. So congratulations to Denis Shashinko. He is our Season 2 2021 GT3 Series champion here in the High Octane Racing League. So congratulations to him. Heck of a run for Shashinko tonight. He had to earn it too. I tell you, 3 guys up there with Colin Madiak and Shashinko as well. And I think Archivier was up there for a little while. And, just kind of a war of attrition. Whatever happened to Madiak, he does have a great second-place finisher, but whatever happened after that pit stop, he just was not able to sort of maintain pace that Shashinko had. So congratulations to Dennis. Good championship for him. We've got more racing in store for you tonight. The Daytona International race at the Saturday Night Thunder headed your way at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Race number 9 of the season. 2 races to go, including tonight, Daytona and then Brookdale, or Darlington, as we call that in real life, will be the last race of the season. But this will be a good one, man. I think you're going to see a big field here tonight. 80 laps at Daytona International in the Cup cars. You don't want to miss it. And again, congratulations to Dennis Shashinko on getting that not only the race win, but winning the championship. Making a statement. Don't forget, tonight's race has been brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. Perfect servers for rFactor 2. There are 3 self-managed server packages available not only here in the United States, but also in your region of the world. EliteHostingUSA.com can find servers for you in your rFactor 2 effort. The Bushwhacker Series will be back in action next week on Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's race number 2 of that brand new season, and we had a great one last night at Daytona. 22 drivers in the Stock Car Series, and I think Gateway is going to attract a bunch of drivers too. Very different track, that egg-shaped oval located just outside of St. Louis in Madison, Illinois. 120 laps at Gateway coming up next week on September the 3rd. It'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. You do not want to miss it. I want to say thank you so much for joining me here on TurnLeftTV. It's been a fun season. Peace to everybody out there. Don't forget to join us. Hit that thumbs up button. Let me know you were here. And thanks to all those folks who come out week in, week out and watch the races or watch them on replay there. So thanks for coming in. And again, congratulations to Dennis Shashinko on getting the championship. He did a great job. That's all for me tonight. So thank you so much for coming in. Congratulations, Dennis. And I'm out of here.